Radio Show presents The Dream, along with his cohorts, Dr. Dizzle and the Mad Hatter, who both took eye jammies yesterday to your boy, so they feeling like Rocky right now.
What's up, Playboy? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. Great day, great night last night as my man Floyd Money Mayweather won the fight, and I see a bunch of real sore losers as the media kind of, I think, fueled Pacquiao into Pacquiao favors there was overwhelmingly a lot more people rooting for Manny Pacquiao than Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, definitely. Hey, what's up, Dan? What are you feeling about that?
I think the crowd, and just to speak on that, and my brother and I were talking about it, and I got to say, I think it's the very wealthy Asian population that goes to Vegas that can afford the tickets that's obviously going to pull. And obviously the media skewed Pacquiao favorite, at least not the fight favorite, but the darling favorite, the whole time. So by the time they got in there, it's like, I think James Brown said it in the pre-fight about how basically people were looking at it like good versus evil. Floyd's a bad guy, Pac's a good guy. But, man, I thought some of the undercard fights were more entertaining.
Well, we didn't get to see the undercard fight as I was punching a hat in the face with the Clipper game because my boy was sitting there with his phone in hand, and I kept telling him, I got you, baby, I got you, move back, get off, got a lot of more. And he was sitting there, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We went to, one of our usual spots, and it was madness. I don't know, you guys, I've been to a lot of events. I've been to, out for events and out for fights. And I remember the Tyson era when I got to tell you, this fight, even though it may not have lived up to the hype as far as in the ring, the promotion of this fight and the buzz that they were able to generate and the general interest in this fight, people who think that boxing is dead, when you're able to do what this fight did, there's definitely an interest still in boxing in our country.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah, there's definitely
anybody who thinks that it's dead, it's not. Well, now it is missing. It is missing ambassadors to keep it going. But America proved last night they still love boxing.
Oh yeah, and I agree. And I think what it's going to take to bring the sport all the way back, and maybe this is just bias because, obviously I grew up watching boxing in that Tyson era. I think we need some heavyweights to come down to actually be some really, really good heavyweights. Because, I think a lot of people, if you watch that fight, if you tuned in last night, and now they did a great job of marketing, like you said, by creating scarcity in the market. Like, for instance, I live in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut. I had no bar within 40 miles that was showing anything of that fight. So I just sit home and I bought it. Big deal, $100, whatever. But, man, I'm telling you, it just didn't live up to the hype. People want to see people get bludgeoned. A puffy eye maybe. A cut lip. Something. Come on.
My man Floyd, I don't know. A lot of people, I don't know if that was their first time watching Floyd, but that's how Floyd fights, okay? Floyd fights like that. Now, here's my thing. The Pacquiao people, my gripe to you that I'm going to say is, Floyd fights how he fights, okay? So we knew that. Pacquiao knew that in his camp. So here's my thing. What was your game plan to do to change Floyd from fighting the way he fights to bring the fight to him? Pacquiao offered little explanation for that because my man who interviewed him afterwards said, hey, look, Pac, because Pac was complaining about Floyd moving around. He's like, you knew all this before you went into the fight with him. So, what was your game plan to do to shut that down, to cut off the ring? People talk about, Floyd not having power and Floyd not, Pacquiao could take his punch. However, I didn't see Pacquiao just running up in there on him either because Floyd tattooed Pacquiao a few times with a few real nice shots. The jab was persistent through most of the fight.
That was what won the fight. The fact that he had, he had like a 6 or an 8-inch reach differential as well. And with that right hand, even when Pacquiao stepped in, but I think what really did it for me, because what I was relying on the fight, and why I was on the Pacquiao side, was because of pure power. And I thought that Pacquiao would be able to land enough pure power punches, but it seemed like his power punches did not pack the same that they have. And I know everybody's saying now, oh, he has a shoulder injury. He couldn't take an anti-inflammatory before the fight. I know how you feel about that, Dream. I know you say they're shooting for the rematch because of that. But, man, there were a couple times he caught Mayweather with a couple good combinations. I mean, dead on the button, and Mayweather didn't move. And that kind of surprised me that, he couldn't even – I mean, he hurt him once in the early rounds of the fight. You kind of saw it. But Mayweather covered up and did his thing. And, hey, I mean, he fought his fight, and it worked out for him.
Well, guys, I mean, I think the easiest play on the board was it going the distance. That was.
No, I mean, it's easy to say that now.
Oh no, it was easy for me to say it all week.
He called it yesterday.
No, he called it all week, but to say it was the easiest play.
Oh, dude,
I mean,
there hasn't been a knockout in a Mayweather fight in forever, bro.
Right, but Mayweather, according to the media, hadn't fought anybody of Pacquiao's caliber. So the only reason I was worried about a knockout was I was worried about a knockout for two reasons. One was I felt that Pacquiao would not be afraid of Mayweather, so would come in and be a little careless, and Mayweather would be able to connect with him. That was a big issue, and I thought that Mayweather would connect a lot more than he did connect, which he still collected a lot, I thought, with good shots. The other issue was, Pacquiao, you had to respect his power and punching ability as well. So maybe in the later rounds, if he caught Floyd and, got him up against the ropes, maybe he knocks him out. That was my issue with the fight. Just the two of them feeding into their own hype a little bit. I felt like maybe one of them might get sloppy or make a mistake that the other might capitalize on. So I really didn't like the go to distance pick.
Yeah, and it kept going up and up and up as the rounds went on. So anyway, guys, you know what? Hey, we'll see what happens. I think Mayweather's going to fight again, though.
No, he is scheduled for
September.
Oh, who's he fighting? You know?
No, he hasn't decided.
No, he's going for it because the big thing in boxing is to go 50-0.
Okay, all right, I'm with it.
I believe after that he's going to retire.
But he won't be 50-0. He'll be 49-0.
49. Then I'll fight one more. You're right.
Yeah, okay.
Because he'll tie. I believe that Rocky Marciano has the record for most, which is 49-0, most wins without a loss. So that he'll tie it, and then he'll need one more to go by it, and they're probably working on Pac-Man on Mayweather too.
Okay.
For to go 50-0 could be.
Yeah. I would say that would probably be the idea.
Yeah. To recap the day yesterday, what about the Kentucky Derby? Dan hits American Pharaoh, and so did I. But I think I actually may have lost some money because I bought my bride a bunch of tickets too. So I got to go to the track and see what it paid. But I did hit that for dude. I mean, I went light, man. I went $20 on that ticket. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm not. Dan went ham on it, dude. Good for you, bro.
Here's what I did. I followed the advice of some of the dudes that know what they're talking about, and I'm not saying I know what I'm talking about. I went very light on a couple of, of the big dogs, just because. But then on the top two favorites, on Pharaoh and Dortmund, I did go crazy because everybody's saying it's really going to come down to them. Obviously, firing line almost bit me, but thank God he didn't. And it ended up kind of mitigating all the damage I did on the Pacquiao fight.
All right.
I may have hit a superfecta, but it's still up in the air as I can't seem to get a straight answer. So I'm going to have to drive the ticket down to the track and have to punch it in. And, dude, I went to the track on Friday. Oh, my God, dude. And listen. The track, I don't know what you guys' tracks are like in your area. In Connecticut, with the exception of Sports Haven, because Sports Haven is kind of dope, which is the major one there where Hatter is. But the one that's near me, it was like Hobo Central.
Oh yeah.
It was like cats. It was like cats up in there. First of all, there was like a gang of cats smoking outside so as you walk through. Then you go in and it looked like dudes had been there for like 2 weeks and was living there and cleaning up in the bathroom. Listen, the floor was grimy. I thought I was going to catch a rash up in this piece. Caps was looking at me, burping, and I'm in line, and I was like kind of nervous for a minute. I was like, yo, what is this? I wanted to call OSHA and be like, yo, this is a health violation up in this piece. I never seen nothing so grimy in my life.
Oh, I know. You know,
I also got to throw it out to Jay Cass, because last night he gave the Santos Laguna play out, and I just said, what the hell? I know he's money, so I followed him, and that hit. Big up to you, brother. Thanks for that.
Awesome, guys. So, so I got to see what American Pharaoh actually paid, and we had Game 7 yesterday, and guess what, guys? We've got a brand new series starting up the NBA today. How about that?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So
it's not going to really be a series. It's going to be a drubbing.
Oh, you mean we called it Stizzle?
Yeah, Golden Stizzle should be an old-fashioned drubbing based on what I saw out of the Grizzlies in the last game. I mean, like Charles Barkley said, that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson sent the Grizzle guys limos to pick them up and make sure they make it to the games. I thought that was hilarious.
All right.
I kind of like that. I like the sweep play for the Warriors as well at plus 260 right now.
That's not a bad play because Golden State's always going to be favored.
I might pair it with taking them to win in 5 as well, because maybe the Grizzlies steal one at home. And you can get that at plus 150, so you can find a way that if either of those hit, you can do really well.
I don't know.
I'm not big on the exact, but in this case, I'm not gonna tell you not to, because I think if there ever was one that's gonna go the distance, that was gonna get swept. This one looks sure for a sweep. My only issue is, Conley's. We don't know his status. I would hate to see the Game 4 in Memphis that Conley decides to play, and that gives the team that that extra energy to will themselves out a win. That'd be my issue.
Got it.
But I see that he's traveling with the team, but he's definitely doubtful for Game 1.
All right, so guys, we are talking about the 3:30 Eastern Standard Time start, the NBA playoffs. We are talking about the Memphis Grizzlies coming into the Golden State Warriors. Since we're jumping right into this, man, Golden State minus 9.5 to 10 with an under/over of 196.5 to 197.5. So, Dream, you're
yes.
I think you're feeling. I think both you guys are feeling Golden State in this match.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I already have Golden State in a parlay. As I had a couple more open parlays with Mayweather. As I had multiple open ones that closed yesterday, and then I reopened 2 other ones. So I'm closing it out with Mayweather, and I took Golden State on the money line to close out yet another one for today. So I definitely got Golden State money line already.
What's your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, part of me wants to pair 3, take a long-term parlay money line and look at the Hawks, Warriors, and your boy.
Okay.
I'm thinking that. I think the Hawks take care of business. Remember, that game starts at 105 today.
Got it.
Yes, it does.
The Wiz at the Hawks. I think the urgency is going to be on for them to get this game. I mean, Washington's been playing extremely well, but I think Atlanta gets it done. So I'm going to pair that with Golden State. And,
I'm gonna recommend, Doc. I'm gonna recommend you leave that series alone, because I think the Wizards can beat Atlanta.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, Dream. I think that you got to sit back and watch this.
Yeah,
I really do, Dan. I mean, this one here is it's a very, very interesting matchup here. So
at least watch Game 1, and you maybe could get a feel from Game 1, because you can still get this. You can still get the series after Game 1. It'll be more if the Hawks blow them out. If you want to take Atlanta, if Atlanta loses, then it'll be even more. You'll be in the plus money for Atlanta. But
part of what I'm thinking about this game here, though, and maybe obviously tell me if I'm wrong, is the Wiz have been off since April 26th. They haven't played a game. And, the Hawks still got, they played 2 days ago?
Yep.
So, they, still a nice rest, but still fresh. And that's why I just think at home, little bit of a break, but not enough. I think they get game one done.
My issue is that I tell Hatter is whenever you have that all-star guy on the floor, that guy that when you go through your scoring drought, you can give him the ball. He's got enough tenacity to find a way to score, be it drive the ball into the hoop, be it take a big shot. Whenever you have that element on the floor, I think you always have an advantage, and you'll always be, you have a way to win. And I believe that John Wall, once again, is probably going to be the best player on the court in this series. And that's always going to be a problem. I mean, he's fast. He's really learned how to play the game. He's really coming of age. He's really turning out to be the player that he was supposed to be, a few years ago when he came into the NBA. And I think they're in a good place now, this Wizards team. They got no pressure on them as they're on the road. Most of the pressure is on the Hawks. And I got to be honest with you, I was not that impressed with the way the Hawks handled Brooklyn in their series.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
No,
100%.
that's true.
I agree with you 100%. I have both of these teams in an Eastern Conference final. In an Eastern Conference, future. So, but Washington pays way more. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch it and wait for the elimination game to pull my money out of whatever team is on the verge of getting eliminated. But yeah, man, I'm looking. I think this is going to be a hell of a series. I think Washington may be able to steal this one, but we'll see what happens.
That would be bad. I think this. I hate to say a must-win game one, but I think with how well Washington played in their last series, and you're right. I think Atlanta had a few matchup problems with Brooklyn, and they did not play as well as they should have or could have. So I think this is like a much more important game one for Atlanta than it is for Washington.
My thing is, you let Deron Williams shine, John Wall is going to destroy you.
Right. That's what I am worried about that. But I don't know, man. Something about Deron Williams when I'm just sitting there and I'm like, is it that the Hawks are that bad? Is it that bad of a matchup? Or is he just hearkening back to the old days and turning it on as best as he can?
Yeah,
because there was once a point where Deron Williams could break anybody.
I never liked D-Will, man. I've always thought he was overrated, but I hear you. I know what you're saying.
All right, so so we are all gonna fall back here and just watch.
Yeah, I might. I'm still thinking I might pair it the Moneyline Hawks, but I'm trying. If I find something else that I can pair with Golden State in a parlay, I will.
Okay.
I actually almost feel like taking a very light shot plus the 5 with Washington.
Really?
I do. I haven't made up my mind yet. So you guys, I'll put something out on Twitter if I do it, if you guys are interested. But I almost feel like taking the 5. I would probably feel better if I could get some more points. So maybe I'll tease it with Golden State. But I already got Golden State money line, so I hate mixing it up a lot. But if you guys don't have it, I don't see anything wrong with a Wizards Golden State tease. Because I don't see Atlanta beating Washington by more than. I think it'd be kind of a tight game. I couldn't see them beating them by more than about what the spread is, about 5 points. So I'm thinking if you can get a couple more on that 5, get that to 8 or better, I don't think you can go wrong.
Yeah.
Take a look.
And guys, there's one other thing that I'm looking at from the Golden State game is that over under 196.5 to 197.5. I think Golden State's going to put up 115.
Well, they've if you look at this here, Atlanta has beaten them 3 out of the last 4.
Okay.
But Washington, the last time they played was in April, and Washington beat them by 9 in Washington. So tough one, man. Tough game. I think
Tough game, yeah. If you're not up, if you had Pac-Man yesterday and you're licking your wounds, get off of that. Go somewhere else because it's not one of those. But if you got down with me and you got Mayweather, and you had the Clippers and you up a bunch of money, like I am, and you guys should definitely you might want to do the teaser or something like that. In the other case, you guys might be like Hatter and Dr. Dizzle, caught a couple of eye jammies. Just throw a stake on that eye and relax for the day. Maybe get us involved in some baseball.
But no, here's the thing, guys. I think the play is in the Golden State game is that I love the over here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of feeling that over too, Dan, to be honest with you. That's a good call. My only issue is Memphis scoring.
Dude, I was just gonna say that, Dream. You guys got to remember who you got. I mean, Golden State does not play really good defense though. That's the thing. So
yeah.
If Memphis gets a couple good buckets to fall, it may definitely go over. Maybe Golden State puts up how's Memphis defensively?
Memphis isn't bad defensively, but the issue is, Memphis, and we're both right. Memphis is going to try to throw that ball down low to Randolph. And I really don't know why they don't really post. I don't know why they don't post Gasol instead of Rand. They seem to run the offense through Randolph. Well, at least that's what they did in their last game. They ran the offense through Randolph and not through Gasol. I think Gasol's better in the post, better than Randolph personally. But
I mean, here's the thing: the Grizz are still averaging 98.3 points per game this year.
Yeah, and they're number 2 in the league in defensive scoring, facing the number 1 offensive team. So
man, I love that. I love that over.
Really?
I really love that over. Because I just think you're going to see a game here.
I kind of like it too. I do. I kind of like it too. Because it's going to be electric. They've been dying to play. They're going to get out. They'll be shooting threes. They'll be running around. They'll be making, the Golden State is going to do, 130% of the work. So now you only need another 70% out of Memphis. So
I love it.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I
don't love the play, but I could see it. It's a slight lean for me as well. I like that, Dan.
Here's the thing: Golden State has scored over 100 in 3 of the last 4. In the game they put up 97, and they scored over 105 in 3 of the last 4, including 120, 109, and 106. Yeah, I'm hammering that.
All right, cool, man. So we got those are the 2 NBAs. We're talking about falling back and watching the first game of the Atlanta and Washington series, and I think we all agree that Golden State will win the game. So it's probably a good money line to throw into a parlay, maybe get one started or close one out or something like that, which is nice, man. I got a couple that I could close out today. So
hell, you could parlay the over with. You can parlay the over with Golden State money line and get it at plus money.
Interesting, Dan. Very interesting. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that makes sense. Sense.
Yeah, but I mean, the money line at minus 700, and then you got the over at minus 110. You get plus 118.
Okay, cool. All right, let's shoot over to the ice, guys. So,
yes, sir. I've been wanting to talk about this a little bit.
All right, man. Why don't we begin with we got the first game on the ticket here is the Tampa Biscuit Lightning coming into the Montreal Habs.
Yeah.
The Canadians minus 125 with an under-over of 5.
This Tampa Bay team, I know the last series probably left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth with them struggling with Detroit as they did. But watching them against Montreal on Friday.
Yep.
I got to tell you, Tampa Bay, they're one of the better passing teams in hockey, I think. I mean, guys, one thing that irritates me with hockey that I've been watching in the 2015 this year is you see passes in areas where guys are supposed to be and guys are not there, which, leads for, because hockey, technically, it's a strategic game, all right? They wait for somebody to make the mistake and then capitalize and then look for, the one-on-one, the breakaway, to get to catch the goalie off guard. But in the meantime, it's kind of like a chess match, in between playing around with the puck. In order for the chess match to work properly, to me, and this is my opinion, and I never played the game, other than, playing out in the street, but I'm not a pro, but just from my watching hockey in years and, talking with guys that play. But to me, the passing game is like so crucial in hockey. And for guys to be where they're supposed to be, so crucial. The Lightning run this kind of, they run it. It looks sweet the way they run it. It's crisp. Guys are where they're supposed to be. There's not a lot of guys. You don't see the puck going in a spot and there's like nobody there, and then all of a sudden the other guy's there. So that being said, I think that the Lightning are going to win this series. So my recommendation in this series is I recommend that you take the Lightning to win the series. It's, I believe, plus. I think it's plus money.
Not after they got game one. It's probably even now.
I'm looking it up right now because I don't want to try to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
They actually may be a favorite now that they stole game one in Montreal.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Dream, how dope is this track?
Very nice.
This is a dope track.
Yes.
Tampa Bay for the series, I'm sorry, guys, is minus 235 for the series.
Oh, big difference there.
That's huge.
But I like Tampa Bay to win this series. So if you want to mix them and add them with someone else for a series, you could put them right now with, I think the Blackhawks are going to win that series, and I also think the Ducks are going to win their series as well. You could do a three-team money line parlay series, or you could wait, leave it open, maybe put it in. You could throw in. You could do all kinds of stuff with this series. You guys saw that parlay I won yesterday that I tweeted for you guys. That was put in like a couple of we were a few games into all of those series, and it was just my feel of how those series were going to go that I parlayed them all together and let it shot. And then it was off of an if bet, a rolling bet from something that I had already won. So it was just sweet. That was like hidden money that came out of nowhere for me.
Yes.
Well, I also think that the reason why Montreal, other than being the home team, was favored in the series at the beginning, because I thought everybody thought, okay, they have the goaltender advantage. But as of lately, it's been pretty even. And, Tampa Bay now is what? I think they're on a three-game winning streak. They won the last two at Detroit and against Detroit at home. Their goalie's been on point. I don't know if they can steal another one in Montreal, which is why I'm just going to lay off it.
Yep.
But I think they have a good chance to steal another one today.
I think they do too, but I agree with you with laying off of it. That's why my recommendation is the series, because I think that they win this series.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to fall back from that. I don't like this Habs team, man. They punch us in the face all year long, bro.
Yep. Yeah, they have.
All year long. So, hey, it is what it is.
Their crowd is incredibly hard to play in front of.
Yeah.
I mean, you make one mistake and they're on you. I mean, there's a lot of pressure playing in Montreal.
All right. So we're not recommending a play on today's game, just more of a series play.
Right.
Scrolling to the next one here, I got the Minnesota Wild playing the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago minus 131 with an under-over of 5. Why do I feel like the Wild are going to steal a game here?
Because you like them, but they're not.
Why do I feel like the Minnesota Wild are pesky as hell, man?
You like them, but they're not going to steal a game. They did put up a good fight after getting, kind of smoke showed in the first period by Chicago. They did come back and make it very interesting towards the end of the game. But I believe the Blackhawks get it one again today. Having home ice looks like it is going to work in the Blackhawks' favor, even though I told you how I feel about home ice in hockey. And that's meant, guys, from a crowd aspect. I just don't feel like you get the same kind of help from the crowd as far as the energy level and the excitement in hockey as you do in other sports. That's what I meant when I said that there's an advantage. I don't think there's an advantage. It's just a crowd aspect emotionally. So anyway, I like the Blackhawks to win today. I'm not betting on this game only because I like another game more, but I don't have a problem taking the Blackhawks today. I think it's a pretty solid play, and it's a small lead for me. But I'm going to go in another direction.
Oh, I already see what you're doing. I already saw by the juice. All you got to do is look at a -200 and know that the dream is all over it. Speaking of the juicy game, we got the Calgary Flames coming into the Anaheim Ducks, and the
Dan,
Ducks.
Any thoughts on the Blackhawk game?
Yeah, Dan.
No, I think you're right, Dream. Again, it's one I'm going to fall back on because I think the Wild showed a lot of fight, more than I expected. And, the goaltender situation for both teams is kind of like they're not that good. So, you could get buried at any point. Like I said, I lean Chicago, but I think I see where you're going, and I'm going to pair it up with something.
All right. So Flames at Ducks. The Ducks are -208 with an under/over of 5.5. That's a lot of juice, Stream. No,
the Ducks have quietly been showing how to act in the playoffs when you're a winning team. And like I said, last year might have been a wake-up call to them, and they're not having it as they went out and beat the brakes off the Flames the last game. So hopefully the Flames might want to put the soccer ball away that they want to kick around before the game, before they went in here and got pounded on, and might want to think about coming up with a different type of game plan because the Ducks ain't having it. The Ducks, they came out real hard. I expect them to come out hard again. They've been extremely focused, and I got to tell you, while I do like the Blackhawks to come out of that West, I'm probably going to take the Blackhawks, and I'm going to take the Ducks to come out of the West and to go up against the Rangers. I was looking at it earlier, and the Rangers Ducks, I think it pays 5 change. If you take them, to play in a conference, to play for a Stanley Cup, it pays 5 change. It's worth it, guys, to throw $50 on Rangers Ducks and also Rangers Blackhawks. Because I think it's going to be one of those three. That's what I definitely think the Rangers are coming out the other side, or coming out of the East. But I think the Ducks or the Blackhawks are the team to come out of the West. So if you're looking to get involved with that, go in there, look at your futures. You might want to take, throw some money on the Ducks to come out of the West, throw some money on Chicago to come out of the West, and then also take Ducks, Rangers, and Ducks and Rangers, Blackhawks for the Stanley Cup.
I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because there's a lot of good value, guys, in getting the exact finals matchups. Picking the respective teams out of the East and West. It's almost like having a parlay with the East winner and the West winner. That's exactly what the odds end up being. So you could actually pick a bunch of them, and then as one of those teams are falling in an elimination game and on their way out the door, you could hedge out of it if you want. But I got some, bro, that pay crazy money. I got in the NBA, I got I want to say it's I wish I could post all pictures of all my futures. I got crazy futures out there, guys. I got Houston playing the Wizards in the NBA Finals. It pays $100, pays $7,500. It's pretty badass what I got going on, man.
And Rangers Ducks, because I'm looking at it, Rangers Ducks to play in the Stanley Cup, it pays $506. Rangers Blackhawks plays $676. So I don't think you can go wrong. I think those are two real strong wagers.
Definitely.
Right. And if you look right now, most books, the Rangers, Blackhawk, and Ducks are all at the same, in my book, it's all plus 350 to win the Stanley Cup as well. So if you do what Dream says, you are adding, plus 200 or plus 300 already. It's definitely worth it to go that route.
Definitely. Kid, the music is on point today. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it, baby.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised you're that fresh after that drubbing you caught yesterday.
Son, I won money yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you won money.
Well, you know what? I haven't even talked about my loss yesterday. I did have a loss, guys. I put out the Cubbies.
Oh, you were capperish.
Yeah,
you weren't talking about your loss.
That was where we got hammered yesterday, and we'll get into that.
I picked. What I did was I started out. With the Rangers winning. Then Dan and I put a consensus parlay together with the Cubbies and the Rangers. The Rangers were my 5-star. That's what I said on the show yesterday.
Right.
And then the Cubbies lost. Then I came back with the horse race. I don't know if I made money on that yet, but then I got the San Diego Padres to work at night, and then obviously the fight worked out in my favor too. So it ended up being a plus day, but I have to acknowledge the loss with the Cubbies. I got to do it.
Yeah.
Please acknowledge the loss. As you know, I really, really, really hate guys that talk about their wins and then when they lose, disappear.
Yes.
That is annoying.
Yes. I know.
No, I did not expect that garbage come out of Chicago. And if they can't pick up the bats a little bit, they're going to be in some trouble.
Yeah. Oh my God, this song is the bomb. All right, let's go. Let's see. Let me go into the MLBs and let's shoot over to the Diamonds. So as far as the hockey's concerned, Dream, any matchup leans today, or are you going to just do series plays?
Yes, I'm doing. No. Oh yeah, no, I'm all over. I am all over the Ducks.
The Ducks. That's right. Okay. All right. So all right, let's scroll over to the Diamond, Mr. Dr. Dan. Let's see what we got going on and go from there. So we got the Toronto Blue Jays coming into the Cleveland Indians. Toronto with them bats, my God, Dan.
I know.
Non-stop, kid. Toronto's, let's see, Cleveland minus 130 with an under-over of 8. Who do you got pitching, Dan, and what's your thoughts?
Yeah, we got Hutchison 2-0 with a 6.67, and Trevor Bauer going for Cleveland 2-0 with a 1.8 ERA, which I think is about to get touched up today. Trevor Bauer's good. He's looked really good. I don't know. I mean, the Blue Jays I feel like they can hit anybody. And Hutchison, while he hasn't been great so far, he's been better as of late. He didn't walk anybody his last time out. He had 7 strikeouts. He went 8 innings against the Orioles. He only allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. I really like the Blue Jays here.
You do, huh?
I think, when you allow 2 runs on 4 hits against a good offensive team in Baltimore, I think that, against a much worse offensive team in Cleveland, and remember, Cleveland's only won 8 games.
Right, 8-15.
8-15. I got to go Toronto with the plus money here. I mean, Hutchison, while he hasn't been an ace, okay, he is their number 1. He probably should be a number 2, maybe a number 3. But he does have some lights-out stuff when he's on. And I think he started catching his groove last game out. And I think, that Cleveland offense will be baffled. And Toronto, if they don't get to Bauer, they'll get to the pen.
Okay. All right, man. So I'm going to fall back from that one, Dan. If anything, if I was going to do anything, I would take an over. But I'm looking at the way these pitchers are, they're both 2-0. They're both 2-0, yeah. They're both 2-0. And the Toronto bats, my God, get 5.5 runs a game, dude.
Oh, I know. It's unreal.
Ranked number 1 in the league. So, guys, if you have Toronto and you fall down early, you're still in the game. You could be down 4-0 and still be in the game like they were against Buckholz the other day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, baseball, look, I get people that'll be tweeting me in the 3rd inning, team be down, 3-1, and you guys are all freaking out. I mean, baseball is a funny game like that. Look at what happened last night. Things are crazy. You can come back. Texas came back. What, were they down like 7-1, won 8-7?
I'm surprised you didn't get involved in a live line with that, Dan, and get it like plus 1,000.
Hey, I was trying to get out.
I know you love doing stuff like that. So
I do, especially in baseball, because you can see things. You got to be watching the game. You got to know what to look for. But you can see teams when they're kind of getting their offensive groove, or if if a team's up 4-0, 5-0, right? They might go to their secondary relief pitchers. And if you know that, or a guy has been rested that day, offensive team. Like if Toronto gets down, 2-0, 3-0 early, yes, I will throw, if I can get a high juice live line on that, I mean, a plus money, I might do it because they'll get to that bullpen. You got to rely on the offense.
All right, going to the next one here, guys, which I can't believe that this team is giving this kind of juice, man. Got the Philadelphia Phillies coming into the Miami Marlins. Miami minus 190 with an under-over of 8. The Marlins minus the crazy juice. Dan, what the hell are they giving that kind of?
Well, there's a reason for this, obviously. So you got Kozar going for the Marlins, who hasn't been bad, 1-1 with a 2.49. And here's the reason for that juice. You got Gonzalez going for Philadelphia, 0-1 with a 23.62.
Oh, all right. That makes sense.
Marlins, look, I don't want to watch this game. I mean, I think the Marlins bludgeon this guy, but I still think at some point Kozar is going to be bad as well. So I'm just going to stay away. This is a garbage game.
Dream, you got any opinion on any of this baseball?
No.
Take the hockey series, please. I love you're probably sitting there right now trying to put plays in while we're doing it.
Aren't we all?
No, I'm interested. I'm listening. I'm paying attention, but I'm not really, getting involved in anything. None really stands out to me today on the baseball, but I'm listening to you guys.
All right. Next one we got on the take. I have no opinion yet. Washington at the New York Mets. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under-over of 7. What you got there, Dan?
Yeah, we have Pfister going for the Nasties, 1-1 with a 3.28. Going up against G, 0-1 with a 4.26. I'm falling back off this game. I have a slight lean on the Mets. I think G, over his last 2 starts, has been very good. I mean, very good. And Pfister, I think Pfister's hittable. Hey, last night was painful. The bats did not get going against Gio. He had his good stuff for the first time this year. The Mets want to split this series, but I'm going to just stay away.
Okay. All right. I agree with you on that one. Big time. Tampa Biscuit playing Baltimore today. As you know, this is a home game for Baltimore, but it's being played in Tampa Bay. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under-over of 7.5.
Yeah, so we got Carnes going for Tampa Bay, 1-1 with a 4.76. And Baltimore, Chen is going 0-1 with a 2.78. Remember, guys, again, this game is listed as a Baltimore home game, but it's in Tampa Bay. I have a slight lean on Tampa Bay, but I'm not. I'm just not going to do anything with this.
Okay. All right.
Has Baltimore basically, since their little issue happened out there, I know they won the game out there, the first game prior to that. How have they played since?
They won yesterday. They got shut out the first day in Tampa Bay, the first game of the series. Like I said yesterday, part of the reason I just don't like it. Yep. If Baltimore was at plus money, I like Chen, but he doesn't get run support. And Carnes has not been terrible. So I just think it's better to stay away from that game.
Okay.
How many cappers are listening to our show right now before they give out their plays? How many are out there? Because this show is incredible. Feeling really good, my man, the evil genius spitting out the knowledge, kid. So, hey, you know what? We encourage it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe we'll come up with something that you guys aren't seeing. And vice versa.
Maybe.
So hit us up with some of your information as well.
It's all a big community, man. It's like
Huge.
I said, it ain't us versus you. We ain't better than you. You ain't better than us. We don't even care about that. It's about cashing.
That's it, baby.
It's about using every tool, every element available, working as a cohesive unit together, going in and making money off the books.
I love it.
It ain't about who's the best.
No, of course not. No, of course not. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just meaning for everybody, anybody that's listening, or any capper. Because we pick it. I take shots at the cappers here and there, jokingly, and I know some of the guys, they might take it personally or whatever. But don't even look at it that way. It's just, it's an entertainment value. Obviously, it's fun. But I think I've always talked about, we here at SBTV, we're planted in. We're working together as a cohesive unit to beat the book. That's our only interest.
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. 1,000%, man. And, we encourage everybody everybody to join the party, man. We are the biggest show in the world. We're having an absolute blast 7 days a week. So,
and I try to enlighten y'all when I see that y'all falling for the Jedi mind trick. The Jedi mind trick. It happened 2 times this week. It happened with the Pacquiao fight, and it happened in that hoop game, the Bulls hoop game that I tried to save y'all on.
yes. All right. Scrolling to the next one here, we got the Cincinnati Reds at the Atlanta Braves. We got Cincinnati is minus 140 juice. I see why. And we got an under-over of 6.5. Dan, talk to me here, brother.
Because he's dying to take Cueto.
No, not on the road.
You know what, Cueto 2-2 with a 1.95 against Tehran, 2-1 with a 4.67. I like the Reds. I can't make up my mind here. You know what? I'm gonna go Reds run line.
Oh my God, the run line. Oh, that sends a chill down my spine when people say the run line, Dan.
But no, the Reds are plus though, right?
No, the
Reds are no. He's converting the Reds from a favorite to an underdog by giving the 1.5.
Oh, he's giving. Oh,
yeah. Tehran's gotten touched up, guys. Here's the thing. I hate giving the 150 juice. The other thing I might do, and I'll have made my mind up by the end of this, is I might just pair the minus 150 with the Anaheim Ducks.
There you go. That's better, Dan.
I think I might just pair the minus 150 with the Ducks. The thing is, I know everybody's like, oh, no Cueto on the road, and he is 2-2. But, I mean, he's been really good. And anybody who's watched the Braves know that they don't really hit the ball. I mean,
yeah.
They first inning?
No. You know what, Dream? Well, no, they're putting up – Atlanta's putting up over 4 runs a game, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, but when you look at who they're putting up those runs against, look at the the Phillies. I mean, you got like 3 guys on the Phillies with over 20 ERA.
Yeah.
They haven't – and I know they put up some runs when they played the Nationals, which, to me it's like, okay. I think Cueto's probably the best they've seen. I mean, you guys are right. It might be better to fall off this, but I just think Cueto's going to come out and pound them today. I mean, his last 2 starts, granted it was both, against Milwaukee, but he did go 8 strong innings, and he gave up a run and then 2 runs. And then he had the bump in the road at St. Louis. But before that, I mean, at home against St. Louis, he gave up only a run, and against Pirates, he shut him out over 7.
All right.
The Braves go ahead.
What are the Reds averaging offensively?
Offensively, they are averaging over 4. It's 4.17 runs a game.
Okay.
And that's my thing. The Reds can put the bats to good work, and Tehran, like I said, he hasn't looked that good. I'm going to look to pair it up, but I'll figure that out.
I don't know if I like Cueto on the road, though. I don't know if I like it. I don't know. If he was home, I'd take him, but
I know he's only had two road starts, and he gave up 4 earned in St. Louis, okay, but he still went 7 strong innings, and he only walked a guy, and he did strike out 10. He looked really good. It was just kind of one of those things where defensively, I think, he was let down. And then, I mean, his next road start's hard to look at, but I know because it's Milwaukee. But, Milwaukee's lineup is kind of similar to the Braves lineup in the fact that, like, they have a couple guys that I feel like if you stay away from, you can have success. And a pitcher like Cueto knows how to work that, right? He's not going to get beat, by Freeman. That's not going to happen. So that's why I like the Reds. And I think Cueto, if you look at it, he might not get the wins on the road sometimes because he's playing, the Cardinals and other good teams in that division. I like him today.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep it moving from there. So far I don't have any baseball I like. Next one we got on the ticket is the Chicago White Sox playing the Minnesota Twins. And Minnesota is actually favored here, minus 130. With an over.
They got Big Pelf on the
Wow, with an under over of 8.5.
Big Pelf.
Big Pelf licking his hands like, he's got OCD. But it's been working for him. I mean, he's 2-0 with a 2.25. It's funny.
Minnesota barbecue chicken on his fingers.
I know. And hey, I was not the I never hated Mike Pelfrey when he pitched for the Mets. I know a lot of dudes did because he was just weird. I don't mind weird. Like he wasn't that bad. You saw glimmers of how he could be good. But every now and again he just comes out and just gets shelled.
Yep.
But I don't think it's going to happen against the White Sox.
All right.
I'm not taking this game because I don't want to watch it. These are garbage teams. So I'll just leave the garbage to the trash.
Nasty game. And
you have Danks for the White Sox. He's 1-2 with a 5.64.
Hey, Dan, maybe you can ask. I don't want to just getting off subject for a minute. We were talking yesterday. I mean, there's been a lot of hoopla about the draft.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to it?
No.
We're trying to figure out what the hell you do in between picks when you're there. Like, what do you do? Like, just talk to your boy?
Probably.
You take a nap. It's like being at a baseball game.
do they serve liquor?
I don't know.
Is it, maybe they actually. I know when it's in New York, right? Radio City Music Hall, where they always had it. It has a big old bar. I'm sure you go out, you drink, because you see empty seats sometimes. So maybe people are out just partying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just I'm scratching my head and trying to figure out what would be cool about doing that. You know what I'm saying?
What I think is if you go there, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever been to Walter Camp in New Haven.
Yes.
So it's after that, I think they get to mingle with some of these new minted NFL dudes. But I also think it's a lot of extended family and friends and just those crazy diehard fans, that get in there. But I think you get to mingle with some of the dudes, and people just do it because they're freaking insane. I wouldn't do it.
Got it. All right, let's get back to the diamond here and see what we got. We got 9 games left, guys. Detroit Tigers at the K-Sizzle Royals. Detroit is actually favored in this matchup, -120 with an under-over of 8.5. Yeah,
you got Anibal Sanchez on the mound for Detroit. He's been terrible, 1-3 with a 5.46. And you've got Jeremy Guthrie on the mound for the Royals, who's been equally as bad, 1-1 with a 5.87. I don't know. I mean, it's early in the season. This game is for first place. I like Kansas City, but I'm just not going to touch it. I kind of like the over here, but again, I think the over at 8.5 is the play if you're going to play this game.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you have 2 pitchers that are giving up close to 6 runs a game, and both offenses are extremely, extremely potent. I think the over is the play. I'm actually surprised it's not a little higher.
Okay. All right. We'll take a look at it.
I'd be seeing 9, 9.5, even possibly 10.
I mean, K-Sizzle is scoring 5.2 runs a game, but their overall defense, they're ranked number 1, dude. Especially at home, 2.6 runs a game they're letting up at home, bro.
No, I know, and I know what people are looking at with the over/under number of 8.5 because the last 2 games, it was a 2. Kansas City lost 2-1 yesterday, and they won 4-1 on Friday. So you're telling me I think this is due. I think both these teams are due for the bats to come out, and they faced some decent pitchers in the last couple games. There's some good starters. I mean, you had Price and what's his face going yesterday. So I think today is where the bats come out. You know what? I am gonna pop on that over.
Okay. All right, man. Good luck with that. Good luck.
I think that defensive stat got to be a little bit skewed with baseball, no?
It depends on your bullpen, your starters.
It's pitcher dominated. So obviously, the better the pitcher is, they're not going to give up any runs. So you're going to look like your defense is dope.
Well, you also have to look at advanced metrics in that, which I don't want to get all into, but a lot of it obviously is relying upon your starting pitcher. But for instance, if you have a guy like the Mets have in Juan Lagares, or the Royals have with their whole outfield defense, guys that can track balls better or, you have a strong infield defense versus a weak infield defense. A ground ball pitcher is going to give up more runs, things like that. It is pitcher dominant, but defensive stats are very, very important in baseball, especially runs given up.
Okay.
Yeah. My boy Rainmaker's talking about taking over in team totals as well.
Yeah, and I like those. How many plays can I really make?
What's the under/over on your plays today? Let's see.
I don't know. You guys talk about it.
We'll figure it out. I'm thinking you'll have 7 today. I'm thinking Dan will have 7. What do you think, Dream?
7 sounds good. I'm over 7.
All right. The under/over is 7 on the amount of plays that my man, the evil genius, is putting out today. All right. Let's see. We got Seattle at Houston today. Pretty much even money all across the board with an 8.5 under/over. Dan, what's up with that?
Yeah, we got J.A. Happ going for Seattle, who's been amazing, 2-1 with a 2.3. And we got Hernandez going for the Stros, 1-2 with a 3.8. That Houston team, man.
You love them.
I love Houston. I love, they like I said yesterday, they haven't really hit their stride yet. I just think that they're going to do some really big things this year. I know it's early. I'm getting excited early, but they absolutely came out again and just bludgeoned yesterday. And now what? They've won 9 games in a row. 9
really?
games in a row.
I had no idea, man. That's awesome.
Houston's won 9 games in a row, and they got a game today where I think this is where J.A. Happ becomes J.A. Happ and gets blasted out of the ballpark.
You think so? Huh?
I think so. Houston at home. Hernandez has not been bad. I mean, he has a 3.8, and when you're pitching for a team that can hit the ball, and especially Houston has really hit the ball lately, they found a way to come back in games. They're even money at home. He only allowed 3 runs on 6 hits his last time out, and that was against the Padres, who've been crushing the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I got to roll with the Astros on this winning streak.
Dude, you've been on fire with them, man. So hey, keep it going.
I mean, hey, you've been taking them over the last 9 games money line, because the thing is, the Astros have been plus money or even. I want to say more often than not during this run. They've been really, really good, but they've also won games on the road. They've won games at home. This winning streak has been more on the road than at home, guys. And if you remember, they swept Oakland on the road. They swept the Padres on the road. Now they're home, and they've won 3 games out of the first 4 against Seattle. And then they get home against Texas. They have a chance to do something really, really crazy here, and I think they get it done today, and they know that.
All right.
Are you guys sitting down?
Yes.
I am all over the Houston Astros today.
Wow. Really?
Yep. I'm taking the Houston Astros today. I am.
Seattle can't score.
No.
You know what I mean? Seattle's 3.58 runs a game. In Houston, I mean, you must be looking at the smart chart, player.
I am. But I had already liked them anyway. We talk about them during the week, and I keep saying that I don't remember when they were ever any good. So they look like they got it going on. I am taking them today.
Dan has them in the future to win their division at plus 4,000. Dan.
Yep.
Son, that's dope. All right, good. All right, so you guys are both on Houston today. I still haven't found a baseball game I like. Next one we got on the ticket, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates playing at the St. Lucia Cardinals. And St. Louis is minus 165 with an under-over of 7.5. What you got there, Dan?
We got Worley for the Pirates. Why am I not seeing his ERA? But we got Worley for the Pirates. And we got Waka for the Cardinals. This is a game. I mean, Waka's been great. 4-0 with a 2.42. Worley's been mediocre, 2-2 with a 4.5. I expect St. Louis to win. I'm not touching it at that juice.
Seems like a lot to give Pittsburgh, right?
It is a lot. I mean, Waka's been really, really good, but Yeah, I just can't do it. I mean, Pittsburgh's a good team. You know, it's not like, yeah, they're 12-12, but you know, they've been playing much better baseball as of late, and I can't do that.
Got it. I hear you. All right, so we'll keep it moving from there. Sorry, guys, I still can't find nothing.
Especially, you know, here's the really quick. You know, Walker did give up 4 runs and 6 hits and walk 2 against the Phillies at home. So in his last outing.
Yes. Okay. All right. Scrolling to the next one here, man. I'm just going to put out a little warning about this Brewers team, guys. You know, we've been picking on them for a couple weeks now. But, Dan, I think that they're going to start being
a streak team.
They're going to start being a little pesky. So if you guys have been fading them, you might want to start falling back from that.
And
go ahead.
You know, on that, too, it's like their whole offense, like the whole offense was slumping. Their whole pitching staff was slumping. When that's going on, I mean, that's not going to last. You know, maybe a couple guys will have bad years. I'm not saying the Brewers will be great, but they're notorious for 8-game losing streaks,
right.
10-game winning streaks. They go back and forth. So, yeah, I hear you, kid. And, you know, today we got Nelson on the mound for the Brew Crew, 1-2 with a 4.03. Hamill for the Cubs, 2-1 with a 3.55. I have no thoughts on this yet. Again, this is one of those at Wrigley. I kind of want to see where the wind is blowing. You know, what's going on at Wrigley Field.
Got it.
I mean, because the over-under in that game on my book of choice is 10.5.
How much is it?
10.5.
That's crazy for a Milwaukee and Chicago. There's no bats there.
I almost feel I have to take the under.
That's got to be an error, Dan.
Well, then I guess I should lock it in.
Yeah, you better get that.
The under at 10.5 is minus 105.
There's something wrong there. They're going to cancel that wager on you. There's no way, dude.
Well, I'm throwing it in right now for big.
I mean, you get no runs.
You can find it. Your book of choice. Go on.
I got it.
You got 10.5
on Dizzles.
You got 10.5?
Yep.
Oh, dude.
I'm checking. I got to check the weather right now in Chi-Town.
Yeah, man. There's something wrong there, guys.
Is there like 40-mile-per-hour winds blowing out?
Blowing out of the
11-mile-per-hour winds at 2 o'clock. Okay, yeah, there's going to be big winds blowing out of Wrigley. 20 miles, but 15 to 20 miles per hour, but it's going to be humid. So the ball might jump. Man, I still don't get it.
I don't either.
I still don't get it.
Wow, that's really interesting, guys.
I feel like I have to hammer that. Like, I got to look into it. I mean, maybe it will get canceled. But, I mean, this makes no sense.
I don't think it makes any sense either. I mean, you saw how bad the bats have been over in Chicago the last 2 days.
I mean, Milwaukee, yeah, they won yesterday 6-1. Then, that Friday game was 1-0. I mean,
right?
Something
wrong there.
I'm locking it in.
You gotta be like, oh, sorry, sir, your wager's been canceled.
Not many times I'm speechless, but yeah, I'm pretty speechless.
All right, 10.5. Wow. So, hey, if you guys could get that, good luck, man. I think that's a stellar play right there. Oakland A's coming into the Texas Rangers. Oakland minus 155 on the road with an under-over of 8. I see why. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah. We got Sonny Gray going for Oakland, 3-0 with a 1.98. Going against Gallardo for Texas, 2-3 with a 4.05. I like Oakland, but I like Sonny Gray, but I'm on the road.
Yeah, it's a lot of juice.
I'm just gonna stay off it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I'm just going to hammer that 10.5 extra hard.
All right. My boy Jonesy's telling me he got 10.5 too. I don't know, man. And you're saying, Dan, that the wind is not as crazy.
It's going to be, 15 to 20 miles per hour with some gusts. and here's the thing about wind, guys. I mean, and if you're from Chicago, you know this, anybody's been there. The wind it might keep blowing, but it could change direction. It could start blowing left to right. It could do a whole bunch of things. And I know the pitchers aren't great, but the offenses haven't been that good.
Right.
I mean, realistically, the offenses have not been that good. And I know it's a day game. I know that Wrigley plays different during the day. But it's only 58 degrees, guys. 76 degrees. It's only 76 degrees. And at 10 a.m. this morning, it's under 60. So at 2 o'clock, it'll be, in the mid-70s. It's not like it's 90 degrees and 90% humidity and the wind's blowing out. Like, 10.5 to me, that's like Coors Field.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Dream, what do you think about that?
I just took it for 11.5.
Bought it up.
Look, I just sent you the picture.
Oh, that's so dope. I love it. All right, guys, we sound a little junky-ish today, but I think there's some value there, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right.
Me and my tracks.
Definitely. All right, I'll get on that too. All right, next one we got on the ticket, we got the LA Angels coming into the San Francisco Giants. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under-over of 7.5.
Yeah, this is your standard West Coast garbage game. We got Weaver 0-3 with a 5.83 going up against your favorite Hatter, Lincecum 1-2 with a 3.27.
Oh my God, that's that. Nah, I'm good with him.
I know. I got no opinion on that. I'm done with the Angels. The way they lost that game. I mean, I don't even want to go on a rant, but in the major leagues, how the hell are you going to get hit with a line drive at third base to lose the game by a run?
Oh, I know.
I mean,
oh yeah, I know you're heated about that.
How? So the Angels can go right to hell. And the Giants stink. Both these teams have only won the games they've won by beating up on garbage. So, I'm good on this game.
A lot of people looking. Everybody's got 10.5 on that total, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Next one we got on the ticket is, let's see, 3 more to go, guys. Arizona Diamondbacks coming into the LA Dodgers. LA minus 160 juice with an under-over of 8.
Yeah, we got the battle of the Andersons, which is like already the second time this happened this year between these two teams.
Yep.
Arizona's Anderson is 0-1 with a 4.24, and the Dodgers' Anderson is 1-1 with a 5.49. Therefore, I say don't touch this game as far as you can throw it. I think the Dodgers win, but at that juice, it's just not worth it with such pretty subpar pitcher on the mound.
I concur.
I mean, a 5.5 ERA already. He's getting knocked around. No, the Dodgers can score with anybody. But,
Got it, man. Got it. All right, so going to the next one here, guys. I want to pull it up on sportsbetterstv.com as well because I'm not seeing a line on this other site that I'm using for pitcher names. Let's see. Colorado at San Diego. Let's take a look. The San Diego Padres have big game shields on the mound. That's why it's minus 182 juice today. Ooh.
I know.
Big game shields, huh?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of going with a Southern California specialty here. I've made up my mind. I'm going to pair the Padres with the Anaheim Ducks.
There you go, Dan.
That's the play.
There you go.
That's the play.
Big Game Shields is 2.90 ERA with a 2-0 record, and the Padres are superior
is garbage,
in everything.
1-3 with an 8.36.
Is that who you got on the mound? I got Matzik.
You got no. It should be Kendrick filling in for Magic today.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think Magic is hurt. I think he's being pushed back. Let me just double check on that. But I believe I have MLB.com listing Kendrick, which is what's been given out.
Okay, all right. I like the Padres.
As long as it's Kendrick, I'm taking that. If it's Magic, Magic's been good, but I thought Magic. I really do believe that he is out. I'm just going to confirm that.
Okay. I don't love the game, guys. I loved the Padres yesterday. I don't love them today, but I may play it lightly. I don't know. I'm struggling with the baseball card today, Dan. Struggling with
I hear you.
Next one we got on the ticket is the final one, Sunday Night Baseball. We got the New York Stanks coming into the Boston Red Sox. And Boston minus 135 with an under-over of 8.5.
Yeah. Another battle of bad pay. We got Warren going for the Yankees, 1-1, 4.35. Kelly 1-0, 4.94. Maybe the over?
I was thinking that. I was thinking that too. But I was thinking about buying it down to 7.5.
The only reason, and I gotta see what the temperature is going to be there tonight, because if it's like a colder night, I don't necessarily love it. But if it stays somewhat warm, in the 60s, low 70s when the game starts, which I don't know if it will because it's at 8:05. I don't like anything about that game, to be honest. I kind of like the Yankees at plus money, but I'm not in love with anything there.
Neither am I. Dream, you got any opinion on the East Coast matchup there?
I do. I have an opinion that you take the Anaheim Mighty Ducks tonight at 10 o'clock to beat the Calgary Flames.
Yes. I agree with you on that. Man. So, rather than betting this, I totally hear you on that. So, that's going to do it, guys. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So it's been a really great show, man. A lot of information today.
And by the way, Matchek pitched yesterday. They just flip-flopped Kendrick and Matchek in the rotation.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. So we're going to close this thing out and go from there. I'm going to start with you, Dan, as far as your plays are concerned. What are you looking at today as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, so my play of the day, and I know it didn't work out yesterday with the Cubbies, but we're gonna go with a little two-team parlay. We're gonna go with the Padres, and we're gonna pair it in the NHL with the Anaheim Ducks, and you can get that at some good plus money value. And then for what we're going with in baseball, obviously hammering. We're gonna go 5 units on the under 10.5 on the Brewers-Cubs game. And then we're going to go Astros, the Tigers, Kansas City over. We're going to go Blue Jays. And then I'm putting in that NBA play, 3 units on Memphis Golden State going over, 197.5.
All right. Dream, what are you on today, brother?
I am going to do, I already got in, like I said, I got the Golden State money line. They're closing out a par with Money Mayweather. So you guys, that's gone. Unless you got money still open, that's gone for you guys to jump on. The other thing that I did is I did jump on the Houston Astros money line along with the under 11.5 runs, 11.5 for the Brewers Cubs game, since everybody was so adamant about it. I did play that just now. It's a 2-team parlay for baseball. Houston Astros, Cubs, Brewers under. And then I also, big shout outs to my man Dank, as he gave me Chelsea, but it was first thing this morning, so I couldn't give it to you guys because I was barely up. But he gave me Chelsea, which we already hit, but I got a couple spots open. So in one of those spots is going to go to Anaheim Mighty Ducks, as I'm heavy on them as well. And I'm probably going to leave the last leg open. I do have 2 other slight leans. I have a lean on the Wizards plus the 5. I don't love it. I would recommend you take the Wizards in Golden State and you tease them up, tease Golden State down, tease the Wizards up. And my other lean is I like the under in the Canadian game, under 5, but I'm going to parlay it with the over in the Blackhawks game. So this is what I want you to do. Take the under and move it up a point to 6, and take the over and move it down a point to 4.
Really?
Those are my two leans for my hockey total parlay. Uh-huh. Yeah, I like the under in the Habs game and the over in the Blackhawks game.
All right, man. All right, my man Tommy King is telling me to take Sonny Gray today versus Texas. So
yeah,
taking a look at that.
I definitely like that play. It's just, Oakland has not.
Yeah,
been
I don't
good.
like taking marquee pitchers on the road. I usually I lay a little bit more juice when they're home personally.
Yeah,
but
and
I'll look
guys,
at it.
Remember, Texas is a bandbox. You can knock the ball around in that ballpark.
I think I'm going to jump on the under in that Chicago Brewers game with you guys. It's not going to be a heavy play, but I'm going to get that, and I might buy it up to 11. Dream, like you got 11.5.
Yep.
So I may buy it there. I'm looking at big game shields today for San Diego. I may do that. I don't know yet,
Pair
guys.
with Anaheim, baby.
Yeah, I don't know about the Ducks. I don't really see anything I'm in love with, guys. I gotta be honest with you.
Outclassed Calgary in that last game.
Yeah, I know that. They beat the snot out of them, but
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a light day for me, guys. I'm pretty happy with what I've done this week. So I'm not trying to give away the profits to force anything. Yesterday, I loved the games on the board. Today, I'm not in love with anything. So I'm going to leave it at that. So, all right, guys. So what do you want to do to close out of here? Dream, I'll start with you.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for all their support, and hopefully you guys can get out there and do your homework, and if you find something you like, get on it. You guys heard what my plays are. I do like the Wizards slightly today, so I would stay away from pounding the Hawks. I also said that I like the second game. I absolutely love Golden State, so you guys should be able to make some money in that respect. Be cognizant of your times, as it is Sunday. It's got a couple little different time changes, as NBA is going off at 1 o'clock and not starting at 3, as it has in the past. I want to send a big shout out to my man AZ Wildcat for his stellar horse information over the last 3 days. My man came through and absolutely ripped it. Did a really great job. We'll look to talk to you again during the Preakness. I mean, I'll talk to you, before then, back and forth as we always do. But we'll look to get you back, when the Preakness comes around, as we'll be on that as well. Big shout outs to my boy Rick Lopez. Cash Action Bets, my boy Dank, Vegas Girl 92661, Deeks Picks is out there as well, Alejandro Yeps, Sin City Maverick, Son Key, my boy Total Sports Edge is out there, my boy Urban, Crush the Bookie, Fan Ape, Betting the Dream, also Jonesy, Nicholas J, Beyond the Bets, Mr. Solutions, Key West ST, Joey, Stargazy, G Rose, James, Clownman Swag, Winning Picks, Direct Sports Solution, Philly Picks, Yipper 82, Almighty Kev, Champ, Tip Talker, Empire Sports, Empire Super Sports, Randy Lockhart, and so many more. Guys, I am the Dream. Always remember who you with. Thank you so much for listening, and make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
What you got to close out, Dan?
Hey, Nation, I love you. It's another crazy week for me. I'll be trying to post my plays every day. I'm going to teach Hatter how to do it as well, so I can just tell him what I'm playing. He can throw it out there. But I'm trying to get back to all you guys during the day. It's very hard, but I love you, and I will talk to you next weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. We are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world, period. You can follow us on all social media outlets. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, Tumblr, the whole package. Sports Bettors TV and SportsBettorsTV.com. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do your homework. Bet your own plays. And get that money. Take care.
Peace.